the life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling.
Chris pulled out a little biscotti for me to have with my coffee. I'm just like, it's just thoughtful because I would have forgotten. We have a package of biscotti that his mom made and they are literally so good. And I keep meaning to have one with my coffee, but I keep forgetting. So he pulled one out for me. And sometimes it's just the thought that counts in marriage.
If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I knew. My will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately. The other ring on my wrist is gold, pairing with the light it holds. When I return from my skin and bones, I'm remembering the words you told me. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
Normally at this point in my Sunday, I would be picking up one of my many books and curling up into the cozy corner of the couch and reading. But I just finished this book last night. I flew through this book. It was a really, really good one by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you've read One True Loves, I think you would really like this one. It's different from like Malibu Rising and Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo. It's more similar to One True Loves. But anyways, I just finished this last night, which means I need to start a new book. I figured I would probably start one of the ones that somebody gave me from book club. This one is more of like a thriller, and since I did just read a love story, I might do this one next to kind of switch it up. And then I also have Twisted Games, which again, this is the second book of the series. I liked the first one, so I might do Local Woman Missing first, get a little thriller in, switch to like more of a love story, and then I'll also need to read my book club book at the end of the month as well. So I'm gonna try and squeeze in 3 more books this month, so we'll see how that goes. But that leads me into what I wanted to spend the rest of this video talking about, which is the books that I read in the month of February, reviewing them and giving my recommendations if anybody is interested. So over the month of February, I actually read 5 books, and those books were Charms of Us, The Swap, My Lovely Wife, Twisted Love, and The Housemaid. So all of these books were pretty good. I will just talk about them in order. So Charms of Us was a kind of a shorter book. It was actually one that a high school friend of mine wrote, so I really wanted to read it because I was like, that's so cool, and wanted to support her, of course. So read that book. It was a really just like sweet story, and if you're looking for kind of like a quick, easy, classic love story, I would recommend that book. Next was The Swap, and this was more of like a mystery thriller suspense type type of book. It started out kind of weird in the beginning. There's like a high school girl that's like kind of obsessed with this older woman. It kind of switches perspectives, and the older woman ends up like wanting to do like a husband swap with this other woman, and they like take drugs and weird things happen. And so it was kind of like weird at first, but once I got into the book, it was very, very intense and fun and easy read. Next was My Lovely Wife. Again, this was more of like a thriller suspense book. So this book was kind of from the perspective of the person doing the murders. It's like a husband and wife, and they decide to like start murdering people because they're bored in their marriage. So again, this book was kind of weird and different, but it was also really intriguing hearing the story from the perspective of the actual killers themselves. I would say though, this book was the type of book where I was not really into reading it before bed because it kind of freaked me out a little bit, especially because again, you're like hearing it from the perspective of the actual killers. Next, I read Twisted Love. So again, this is a series and reading the second book this month, and Twisted Love was just twisted, and it was love, and it was a good story because I think it really mixed a love story with a little bit more like drama and suspense. It wasn't just like your classic, they fell in love, they had a falling out, and then they fell back in love and they got back together. Like, it wasn't like that. It was a lot more complex. If you like love stories, but you kind of like having more of a either like suspenseful or dramatic twist, I would recommend that book. I've heard the second book is better, so I'm definitely really excited to get into that. But lastly was The Housemaid, and this was our book club book of the month of February, and this was by Frieda McFadden. And like I said before, I have read The Locked Door by her. This month we're going to be reading The Inmate by her, so we are just really big Frieda McFadden fans. But this book was basically about a woman who's looking for a job. She becomes a housemaid for this couple, and the wife or whatever that hires her is just a total chaotic, not a nice person, just like horrible to the housemaid. And ultimately the story kind of unfolds as far as who's actually kind of the bad person, and I don't want to spoil anything, so if you like suspenseful thrillers, I definitely recommend this book. So those were all of my books for the month of February, all great reads. And I think, like I said, I'm going to start off with this one since I did just read a love story, and yeah, I will obviously let you know how it is. If you're interested in hearing about this book, let me know if you enjoy hearing about any of these books and if you have read any of them as well. All right, so that is pretty much it for my Sunday morning routine. We got a little bit of a late start today with daylight savings, so it's already 12. And yeah, I'm just gonna spend today kind of working on some YouTube stuff. Sitting outside, it's literally so perfect out right now, even in the shade. I've been feeling a little like iffy today, a little sniffly, a little tickle in my throat. So just gonna try and take it easy today. Hopefully feel better tomorrow because I hate being sick. Anyways, that's gonna be kind of my day. I hope you enjoyed this Sunday morning routine, hearing about my February book reads, and yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the link above where I've linked my entire routines playlist.